Students, and first thing they come in is, show me this riff from this song, and show me how to do this lick I heard on this. And well, part of that is good. Part of learning, licks and riffs is good. It's almost like, as I heard a friend of mine put it this way. He said it's almost like when a child is learning how to talk, the first thing they do is they imitate what they hear, and then eventually they learn what the words actually mean, and then they learn how to put sentences together for themselves. And I've experienced that with my son, being a 2-year-old son now. So, the thing about just only learning licks alone is that you're not really learning musically, what is put into the development of this lick. The problem with just learning licks and with learning riffs is that usually you'll learn it in a certain context, and therefore the only way you're able to apply it is in that same context. You might, hear a lick and just, ba-da-da-da-da-da, whatever the lick is, and it's like, okay, if you learn it that way, then probably the only way you'll try to apply it is the way you learned it. So let's say, if the song was at, 100 BPMs, and it had a little swing feel to it, and all you did was learn the lick, in that song, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, what if you have another song that you're playing, and the progression is similar, but the tempo is completely different. Let's say it's 6/8, and let's say it's at 70 BPMs, and it's like, but the progression is similar. You could apply theoretically that lick if you understood what the lick was based on. And so my approach to teaching licks is not so much to simply, I'll play something, you repeat after me, and now you've got a lick. But my emphasis is on learning what the lick is based on. And when it comes to improvisation, even solo, let's kind of break that down for a second. Let's look at playing the groove, improvising on the groove, and then soloing, or just full-blown improvisation. They all kind of lead, to each other. First, let's take just like the basic groove, the basic foundation. Pretty much what you're going to play, that's the pocket. And then you want, the first thing people want to do is say, well, how do I improvise on the groove, because I get bored playing the pocket, right? And so improvising on the groove is simply understanding more about the groove, and then soloing over the groove is simply knowing more about the improvised groove. So it's like each, it's like a step, leading to the next. And so all a solo really is, or all a lick really is, or all a riff really is simply you expanding upon the groove. There's different approaches, to playing licks, and there's some people who just randomly go for licks, say the song is playing, and they're doing a groove, and they just, just take off, in the left field, just doing licks, and then they jump back down into the groove again. The problem is that the licks a lot of times aren't relevant to what's going on musically. So the way I try to approach soloing and licks and all these things, these riffs, is to simply understand two concepts. There's two important things, and with creating a lick, or playing a lick, or developing a riff, and that is understanding, number one, the progression underneath the lick, and then number two, the rhythm, or the timing of the lick that you're playing, right? So if you can understand the rhythm of the groove, or the feel, what's being created, by the band, and you understand the progression underneath it, you can really develop all the licks you ever need to develop. So, if I was just playing like just simple groove like that, something straight ahead, the next step would be like kind of, I guess improvise a little bit on the groove, right? So if I can remember the groove. Right? Just using some basic patterns, improvising on the groove, basically using what's already there and just expanding on the same groove. you know, and even to solo over that same groove. Obviously, I don't have a beat, you know, or a band accompany me right now, but I would take the same concept and look at what I'm already playing and simply just build upon that. So for more details, band, show up now.